Okay, so welcome to simple trigonometry. We're finding the missing side. To calculate the length of the sides marked X in each triangle, give your answer correct to three similar figures. Okay, now first of all, we should all know how, should remember and recap our three triangles. So I'm just going to write them up here because I will refer to them when I'm doing the question. So if I go through this and I run through it, I've got sunbathing on holiday can always harm the old age. So I've got my three triangles, Socrates, or the way we remember it. Now the first, I always say, which I find is the most important thing to do, is to label this triangle correctly. Always remember that the right angle, okay, opposite the right angle is the longest side, which is called the hypotenuse. Okay, that's always the longest side opposite the right angle. Now the other two sides are opposite and adjacent, and the way we label the next one is opposite, which is opposite the angle we have. We call this the opposite. And the last side, always label the last side as adjacent, A. Now once we label this triangle, we then look at it and say, what have we got information about? Well, we've got information about the hypotenuse, and what side do we have to find? We need to find X. So I've got two sides. This side is redundant. We've got no information about it, so we don't need it. We need the triangle which has O and H. This doesn't have O and H, neither does this, and there'll be only one triangle that will fit this condition. Hence, this will be a sine function. S stands for sine, C stands for cos, T stands for tan function. So what I'll do then, I simply just copy out the sine triangle and I fill in I substitute the values for what OH and sine angle is. So first of all, O, it says is X, is the side we need. H is 6, so I put 6 there, and sine is with the angle, if I put sine open bracket 44 close bracket. Now this is always the sine function, or the cos or the tan always comes with the angle. You can't just put the angle by itself, it's got to be with the function. Now if I do the cover up method, if I covered up this X, I could write X equals, so I cover that up, so that's gone. So what's left here? Well, you got sine open bracket 44 close bracket times 6. So when they're next to each other, you multiply, you got a T there for multiply. So when you multiply those, I'm just going to write sine open bracket, well, it already comes with an open bracket, close bracket 44 times 6. Now your calculator for X will give you 4.1679 blah blah blah, and you just want it to three similar figures, 1 2 3. That 6 becomes, because that is 7, anything 5 or more gets rounded up, so X would equal 4.17. So three single figures, three figures in here, okay, and it's in centimeters, so I'm going to write centimeters there. So that one's kind of done. Also, if you want to double check, 4.7, does it look about right? Well, it should be less than 6. Yes, it looks about right, so I'm happy with that. Okay, let's try another one. So this time the opposite, this one is the longest side, which I'm going to call H, which is the hypotenuse, always opposite the right angle. Now the first one I will label is this side, which is opposite this angle, so that's going to be O. And then I'm going to label this side, which is always the last, opposite to the alphabetical order. A comes last in this case. I've got information about the adjacent A, and I've got information, well, not information, but I need to find what X is, which is O, the opposite angle. But H is redundant. I've got nothing that I need or any information about that, so I leave that be. Now O and H, not in here, not in here, it's this one here, which is the tan function. So if I was to draw this again, I'm going to draw the triangle and then substitute in what are these letters on here. So O is X, A is 10, and then the tan, this T stands for the tan function. The tan is going to be open bracket, this is again 44 degrees, and close bracket. So if I go and cover this up, the x, that's what he called tan 44 multiplied by 10. And then the rest is up to the calculator. Now this is 44. You know, I would expect this one to be about, you know, just under 10. Okay, just remember, if you roughly can tell what the angle is going to be. So I'm going to put tan 44. It's going to be hopefully just under 10 because the angle is smaller here. That will be 46. That's 44. So this one will be 9 on the calculator, gives me 9.6. 5, 6, 88, etc. And I want it to 3 single figures, so I just want it to 1, 2, 3. Now next door number to 5 is 5 or more, we round up, so that becomes 9.66 centimeters. Always write the units, keep it straight. Okay, now sorry about this triangle, it's chopping off a bit. That angle there is 81. Again, what I'm going to do is, the most important thing is I'm going to label this triangle. So first of all, always label the hypotenuse, which is opposite the right angle. Then this side is opposite this angle, so that's called O, and this is the adjacent. Now in this scenario, I'm going to see what information I've been given. Well, I've been given information about H, and what do I need to find out? I need to find out A. So A and H, not that one, but it's this one, which I was hoping is going to be, is the cosine. So again, if I draw the triangle out, I'm going to draw a nice big triangle so you know what's going on here. So this is that cosine, and A in this case is the x that we need to find. H is 12, and the cosine function, the angle is going to be 81 degrees. Happy days. So when I work this out, one thing I know for a fact is going to be less than 12. So I'm roughly trying to anticipate what the answer is. So if I cover up this x, I'll get cos open bracket 81 times 12, and just simply put that in your calculator. So I'm going to just say cos 81 multiplied by 12. That gives me, now this gives me 1.8772, which, yeah, because it's, as this is really steep, this is going to be a small angle, so this side is going to be pretty small. So if I round that to 3 single figures, 1, 2, 3, that's 5 or more, so I round it up, so that will be 1.88 centimeters. And that is it. You got an example of each one of those there. You got an example of a sine function, a cos function, a tan function coming into action when you're finding the missing side. Okay.